Talks between South Korea and the U.S. over sharing the cost of keeping American troops on Korean soil have broken down. Under the current agreement, which expires at the end of this year, South Korea pays slightly less than $1 billion annually.
The U.S. now wants to up that amount to about $5 billion an increase most South Koreans say is too much. Our Korea correspondent Lim Yeon-suk has more.
It's quite rare for the U.S. and South Korea to be at odds over any issues, as they share a 66-year-old alliance that goes back to the days when the U.S. helped South Korea fight the North during the Korean War. But on Tuesday, talks were abruptly halted, with both sides giving their sides of the story in separate locations. Speaking from the U.S. Embassy, U.S. officials put the blame on South Korea for the stalemate.
Unfortunately, the proposals that were put forward by the Korean negotiating team were not responsive to our request for fair and equitable burden sharing. As a result, we cut short our participation in the talks today in order to give the Korean side some time to reconsider.
And just across the street from the embassy where the foreign ministry is located, the chief South Korean negotiator had its own press conference.
미국 측은 새로운 항목 신설 등을 통해서 방위 분담금이 대폭 증액되어야 한다는 입장인 반면에 우리 측은 지난 28년간 한미가 합의해온 SMA 틀 내에서 상호 수용 가능한 분담이 이루어져야 한다는 입장이었습니다.
He also said despite the differences, there was no mention during the talks of the U.S. reducing or pulling out its 28,500 U.S. troops from South Korea, and that they will meet again since the current agreement expires at the end of the year. But the breakdown in talks between the two sides comes as a shock to many South Koreans here, as it is quite rare for bilateral talks to break down and also for them to publicly announce their differences. Although these days there have been anti-U.S. protests here in South Korea, many South Koreans are aware of the importance of having the U.S. troops based here in South Korea, since a peace treaty was never signed to officially end that Korean conflict, and there's still the possibility of North Korea attacking the South again. Lim Yeon-suk, CNA, Seoul.